The Royston Cave, a subterranean world of mystery and intrigue. Nestled beneath the small market town of Royston in Hertfordshire, England, lies a fascinating and enigmatic man-made cave carved into the chalk bedrock. This ancient underground chamber has fired the imaginations of scholars and mystics for centuries, leading to many theories about its puzzling origin and purpose. This cave is known as the Royston Cave, and it continues to captivate visitors today through its intricate carvings and the enduring legends surrounding it. The cave was accidentally discovered in 1742 by workmen digging in a field that overlies it. Upon breaking through the chalk into the cave, they revealed a bell-shaped chamber approximately 6.7 meters 22 feet high and 9 meters 30 feet in diameter. The walls and ceiling of the cave were found to be elaborately decorated with carved figures and symbols. Who carved this underground temple and why remains subject to debate, as no definitive historical records about the cave's construction have ever been found. Archaeological investigations indicate that the cave was most likely created in the 14th or 15th century, which places it within the late Middle Ages. Efforts have been made to link it to the Knights Templar, a medieval monastic order that was heavily involved in banking and commerce across Europe and the Middle East. The Knights Templar used a variety of secret symbols, and some of the carvings in the Royston Cave have suggested to researchers a connection with this mysterious medieval group. However, not all historians agree with this theory, leaving the cave's builders still shrouded in uncertainty. The most striking aspect of the Royston Cave are the large, dramatic carvings that adorn the interior walls and ceiling. All of the carvings were made using the low relief technique, in which shapes are carved in shallow depth to produce a subtle, nuanced impression rather than a bold projection from the rock surface. The largest single carving is an image of Saint Christopher, the patron saint of travelers, bearing the Christ child on his shoulder as he crosses a stream. Saint George and the dragon are also depicted in an elaborate panel nearby. In addition to the representations of these Christian saints, there are also carvings of symbolic pagan figures whose meaning remains less clear. One of the most intriguing is a carving known as the caveman, which shows a figure surrounded by asteroids, stars, and what some interpret as plants. Who this caveman was intended to represent remains a mystery. Other pagan symbols in the cave include a Sheila na gig, a type of ancient fertility carving displaying a naked female figure. Adding to the cryptic amalgam of Christian and pagan symbols are several unidentified carvings of animals, geometric figures, and decorative foliate designs. There are also inscriptions of medieval musical notes carved into the cave walls, although the meaning behind this musical motif is unknown. All of these varied carvings come together in a unique blend that raises many questions about the purpose and meaning behind the Royston Cave. The cave contains some areas that do not have carvings, where archaeological excavations have taken place to search for artifacts left behind by those who used the underground chamber. Unfortunately, few artifacts have been found over the many centuries of curiosity about the cave. This makes it difficult for scholars to construct a clear picture of activities that may have gone on there and how the cave was used. While definitive answers about its construction remain elusive, there is no shortage of fascinating legends that have arisen offering creative explanations. One popular legend claims that the Royston Cave was used as a secret meeting place for the Order of the Knights Templar. According to this legend, the Knights Templar underwent initiation rituals inside its uniquely symbolic chambers. The carvings are said to reflect aspects of those rituals and their religious beliefs. This legend connecting the cave to the Templars stems in part from the timing of its construction in the 14th or 15th century, which would have coincided with the heyday of the Templar Order in England. However, some historians find the evidence too thin to conclusively link the Templars to the cave. Another limitation is that the cave would have been relatively cramped and inconvenient for large secret gatherings, thus not an ideal choice for the powerful Templar Order. Nonetheless, the story contributes to an aura of mystique and hidden purpose that continue to surround the Royston Cave. Other legends posit that the cave was constructed or used by monks, Freemasons, or practitioners of witchcraft and the occult. There's a local tale claiming that a metal chest of gold and valuable documents was once kept in the cave, under the protection of a devil or imp summoned by someone practicing magic. According to the legend, those who attempted to steal the chest were thwarted by the magical imp. Such legends highlight how ancient sites of unknown origin often develop fanciful folklore and mythology around them. A more scientifically grounded theory suggests that the cave was used as an anchorite cell. Anchorites were Christian hermits who withdrew from the world for religious solitude and contemplation. Carving their own cave complexes to inhabit was something anchorites are known to have done in multiple parts of medieval England. This could explain the religious carvings that would have provided inspiration and focus for the hermit's spiritual devotions. It does not preclude the possibility that other groups, such as the Templars, may have also used the space at other times. Many researchers have noticed intriguing similarities between elements of the Royston Cave and the carvings found in Roslin Chapel in Scotland. Roslin Chapel has its own body of Templar legends and also contains carvings of green men, astronomical symbols, and plants that parallel those seen in the Royston Cave. The specific meanings behind these carvings remain debated, but the resonance between these two sites is viewed by some as another suggestion of a Templar connection. Adding to the uncertainty around interpreting the Royston Cave are questions about whether some carvings may have been modified at later times. There is evidence that suggests some of the saints' figures were altered and recarved in the 16th century. During the Protestant Reformation, when England broke from the Catholic Church, original carvings may have been modified to be more aligned with Protestant iconography. This indicates the cave held some significance and purpose for locals even centuries after it was initially created. Ongoing archaeological and imaging studies continue to search for clues. For visitors seeing the cave in person today, a sense of mystery and antiquity is still very much present. The cave sits underneath a distinctive octagonal tower, which was built in the early 18th century, deceivingly giving the appearance of being the cave's point of entry. In actuality, the cave ceiling sits a meter below the tower's floor. But the presence of this architectural feature pays homage to the ongoing allure and intrigue generated by the ancient underground chamber it caps. Visitors today must descend a narrow 30-foot stairway to reach the cave, giving the sensation of stepping back through centuries of time. Once inside, the carvings come to life in the dim light, full of symbolism and graphic imagery that sparks wonder about the hands that created them and the world in which they lived. As one takes in the faded figures of saints, pagan symbols, and unsolved motifs, the mysteries of the Royston Cave seem to only deepen. Attempts to conclusively explain the origin and meaning behind the Royston Cave may ultimately remain vexed by gaps in the historical record. But as an enigmatic relic of England's medieval past, the cave will no doubt continue entrance and confound all who gaze upon its ancient walls.